Here's something I remember well. When you're 17 years old and a high school senior, you pay attention to things like this. Henry Kissinger also came up with the Paris Peace Accord to stop the Vietnam War only if we would agree to lose the war. It's the first war the United States had ever lost. It's the same month that the U.S. Supreme Court said it's okay to abort babies. You'll notice as we follow the Shemitah years that from 1973, we start going down. I want to bring you up now to the next Shemitah year that I want us to discuss, what time we have, is 1994. Another Shemitah year. In 1994, this monstrous, cataclysmic asteroid was heading towards the planet Jupiter. Now, Jupiter's gravitational pull is a lot stronger than the Earth's. And as the asteroid got closer to Jupiter, the gravitational pull of the planet broke the asteroid up. Now, this is a Shemitah year. The smallest fragment that hit Jupiter was larger than the Earth. That was the smallest one. It broke up into 21 pieces. Now, I'm not asking us to do anything that's not biblical. But what happens when you take 1994 and add 21? A Shemitah year. Okay. Now, that's in 1994. Now let's come up to 2001. In September 2001, the stock market took an unbelievable blow right in the face. It hurt. It hurt bad. Right at 7 days later, the very next week, 9/11 happens. 2001 was a Shemitah year. It was a sabbatical year. Now we come up to 2008, another Shemitah year. We all know what happens that year. In September, the Shemitah year always starts in September. It ends in September. It starts in September. It ends in September. In September 2008, the stock market took another unbelievable hit. God works with sevens. It dropped 777 points. It dropped 7%. And we lost over $70 billion that day. And if you take the date that the stock market crashed in 2008, if you'll back up 7 years, if you'll back up 7 days, and then if you'll back up 7 hours, it was the hour of that Tuesday morning that the planes got through and hit the Twin Towers. Same hour. It's creepy. It's creepy, isn't it? And I'm not done. Now, here we go. This coming September, like I said, on September the 25th, we start another Shemitah year. Another sabbatical year. It will go till September the 13th of next year. Now, if you recall, I wanted to wait till after the first blood moon so that maybe you'd listen to me and say, that guy's crazy up there. Ain't no way that stuff's going to happen. No way. Well, did last Tuesday morning convince you any?
With what? The moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, NASA said this is going to happen. It happened on Passover. The next one happens during the fall feast of the Jews. Then next year we have another one during Passover and another one during the fall feast in the next year, which will be the last one. Now, here's NASA talking. This isn't a bunch of crazy, senile, Alzheimer's Jewish rabbis. This isn't a bunch of crazy Baptist pastors who just came from a Southwide Baptist Fellowship convention, and they're all charged up and fired up. This is rocket scientist stuff. Listen, the church is at the point the rocket scientists have to tell us what's going on. We should know this. We should know this. And they're, well, now, are you sure that's not for the Jews, or that's not for that Israel country over there? If it wasn't for us, why is it in the Bible? And Jesus himself confirmed Moses and the prophets. Maybe we all listen. Okay, now, you know we got a solar eclipse coming up on March the 15th. This is something that always happens during a Shemitah year. It'll start in September. How many months forward is March? Somebody count. September, October, November, December, January, February. 6 months. On March the 15th, there's going to be a solar eclipse. God always puts that in the Shemitah year to tell them you're halfway through the Shemitah year. That happens every Shemitah year.
The what?
The solar eclipse.
Okay.
It tells them you're halfway done. Okay? Now, next fall, they get a partial solar eclipse. Isn't it funny how that's going to be on the last day of the Shemitah year? And it took a bunch of rocket scientists to tell us that. Now, this is all coincidence, right? It's kind of like the day they put the spire on the top of the new Trade Center in New York City. The day they finished it, they finished the outside anyway. The day they could say that the outside is finished, the day they brought that spire up, and while they were attaching it, we had a full solar eclipse. Is God pleased with that tower? That's not a tower, that's a target. All they did was just built a new target. You'll always find, start with Babel. Start with the Tower of Babel. Every time a society wants to spit in God's face, they build a tower. Daniel chapter 2, what did Nebuchadnezzar do? Daniel chapter 3. What did Nebuchadnezzar do after he's learned that he was that head of gold? He built a 90-foot tower and put a statue of himself on top of it.
The spire, are you talking about the Liberty Tower?
Yeah, you know, the top spire that goes on top, the cap. They had to put something up there to make it 1,776 feet tall. So they put a spire up there, and it's got a bunch of radio antennas and microwaves, whatever. And while they was putting it up there, a solar eclipse was taking place.
So the solar eclipse happens.
The next one is March the 15th.
6 months after the
Shemitah year starts.
Oh, so we get a solar eclipse every 7 years?
Yeah. We always have. And nobody paid attention. Nobody paid attention. Okay. Where are we at here? Okay, so the next Shemitah year, we done talked about that. Now, let's finish this up because I want to get this done and I'll go over in his time. I want to talk about the year of Jubilee. The year of Jubilee. The last one was 1966, 1967. It's